Alrighty, let's see. Warming up, Chris. I'm about to warm it up, Chris. I'm supposed to. Let's see. Mic checking. Checking of the microphones. All right. Uh, got some people coming in. Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? Welcome to another podcast. We got some news today. Checking it out. Let's see what we got. What we got. Got a few people in the live. Let's see here. So, to give you a quick overview of what I'm about to talk about today, I got some artificial intelligence news. I got some fiber and carrier news, television, and cell phone carrier news today. So, feel free to chime in. Uh, we're gonna have all three carriers talk about today, and maybe even a little bit of. I don't like to really talk about Elon in a tech sense, but I probably have to talk about him today too. Let's see. So I want to say hello, everyone. Thank y'all for stopping by. Um, take as much tech news as you like. There's always leftovers. So for this evening, we're going to start this segment off talking about artificial intelligence. So for all the people that are might be confused about today's, hop onto AI, I feel that it's just more of trying to upsell of existing services that were probably already there, and I call it the spooky man syndrome, right? More along the lines of, I think they've had this capability for a while where the algorithms become more predictive and a lot more. You could say organic, but Google is one of them, being that they're in everything and a lot of stuff. And I feel like they pull their punches and waited for somebody else to come onto the scene to make AI a household name, you could say. So now that OpenAI is in the forefront, they're starting to make some deals. And one of the deals that they're doing is with Reddit. So this is the one of the top stories in America today. And Reddit being I would say an online form of sorts. Some people feel that Reddit might be a little toxic. I don't see it that way, depending on what form you're kind of going to and what you're into. I think it allows people to kind of be the super fan boy and girls of whatever they really, 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 really like. So now Reddit has forged a pact with OpenAI to bring content to GPT. So basically, what Reddit is going to end up doing, from what I can understand, is a lot of these AI models need to be trained, and the training comes from real world interaction. So you have real people interacting on Reddit. They're you could say they're their pure self because a lot of people will be a lot more open to say things that they normally would not say even in public. And one of the benefits of Reddit is it doesn't really have to be news equivalent worthy. It's just a conversation around things, kind of like what I'm doing with my podcast, right? It's more along the lines of having an open discussion. I try to have a more organized, peaceful discussion, but Reddit is kind of like if you start looking up some, information about the cloud operations of Google. Has done a Reddit post about that subject, probably. And then that Reddit post gets filtered into your search results because it was talked about. You search for it, it was talked about by some groups of people, and it kind of filters into Google as a prominent search result. That comes healthy because then you go get an idea about what's being talked about, what's being presented, what's going on, what there are other people talking about the same thing. To say Cybertruck, it depends on whatever floats your boat, right? And then you start seeing content related in the search results. So this is kind of what OpenAI is doing, from what I can grasp from the information that's gleaned from this article is basically Reddit in partnership with ChatGPT. They're going to be feeding information back and forth, but really it's to feed the artificial intelligence. You know, raw people, raw information is the best information for artificial intelligence. The funny thing is ChatGPT has been evolving into a monster. So uh, this is one of those weird cases that is too much information, too much information. So ChatGPT has been going through mood swings. So I think they hit their teenage phase of not really want to do anything. Now you're going to hit them with the internet troller. AI is going to be internet trolling us now because that's kind of what ends up happening on Reddit. Certain forums are real troll fest. So this information is here on Yahoo Finance, and for the most part, it's basically talking about the agreement that they have with Reddit from OpenAI, and news is going to be coming out about this, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the progress is going to end up being. But how is this going to impact ChatGPT in the sense of how can I say it? It's going to be more Reddit influence, or is it going to be ChatGPT influence in Reddit? Which one is going to be? I think that Reddit is going to influence ChatGPT more than ChatGPT influence in Reddit. That's how I look at it. But stay tuned to that. So let's see here. Another AI piece that's been floating around. Let's pull this up. This is from Forbes. If I can get the ad from not showing. Here we go. So this is the part of artificial intelligence where it takes a turn for what I call the worst. So artificial intelligence right now, I don't think that we found a place for it just yet. It's kind of a big tool, like a new hammer, but nobody knows exactly where to put it at in their toolbox. But I can tell you, people who like to do nefarious things can find ways to use a new tool very fast. So now the FCC outlaws use of AI fake voice in robocalls. So anybody with a cell phone, anybody with any type of landline phones, whatever, you've been probably a victim of, robocalls or fake calls, people, you know, disguising their voice to try to get you to sign up for new auto insurance. It's a random act of like craziness now. So having human beings call us now is a thing of the past. Robotically calling you with fake voices that sound like famous people is the new way of doing it. So now that the FCC has outlawed this, and I think there's a fine, there's a hefty, pretty hefty fine that people can levy on some of these robocall companies if they can. That's one if you can find them, because a lot of them are overseas, so they like to spam United States, and then good luck you trying to go over there and go get them. But as it stands right now, AI this is the dark side of artificial intelligence, and because artificial intelligence is more adaptive than human beings can be, it makes it harder to keep up with laws that's going to govern the use of deep fakes. You got questionable photos that's been generated by some AI models, music, different other things, and there's no limit to what it can do. So therefore, it's hard to write laws to limit something that you don't know what the outcome could possibly be. So this is just another use case trying to protect people from being scammed. You know, what was it? In the 90s, early 2000s, one of the bigger scams was the Nigerian prince that needs money so he can come over to the United States. Now they can actually throw a voice of somebody Nigerian behind these fake AI calls and dry beg for money. And there's somebody out there that's going to fall for it. And it's the FCC's job to try to protect those people as much as they possibly can. It might not work on me or more tech savvy people, but you also got to protect the least informed of us. But some of these examples are like junk calls, robocall fraud, and this is right here where they're saying that you can sue and recover up to $1,500 per incident. But one of the bigger things, because this is a political season right now, this is the election year, you end up getting political deep fakes happening, voices of, you know, um, election candidates. So we're getting into the heated season where AI can be used for nefarious purposes. Not not just for helping someone, but it could also hurt. Telling people that, hey, the primary was 3 days ago, 3 days early, and then they end up missing it, and your favorite candidate doesn't end up getting the votes they need to be able to win. So this is where AI can end up becoming very, very nefarious per se. But this is all from the Forbes. So stay tuned. I'll probably end up talking about it more. This one also showed up in the top results of news. So uh, artificial intelligence is getting a lot more prevalent in the news as of late. My last AI news, and definitely not the least. Hold up. So AI is making music now. So we know that it can generate, algorithms, formulas, and different things like that. That impersonate people's voices, do different little tricks of trade. You can probably think about any aspect, almost being like a lawyer. Also, I think that there was one case where they were using AI as a lawyer, and it fell flat on its face. It got wrong verdicts, wrong, and different things that lawyers do, like cross reference certain older cases to make a point. It got a lot of that stuff wrong, but now AI is working on adding music to videos. Now, if you've seen, like, let's say, a nature film on YouTube, like, I use a lot of the 4K videos to do my video testing on my speed tests. And one of the things I find is there's music tied to the video. So they're showing a leopard in this Serengeti. Well, somebody added music to that video. Now you can end up adding music to a video by just using AI. And I can see how this can be pretty good, especially if you're doing a lot of B-roll and you don't want to license said music from someone. So let's say that you shoot a lot of video, myself included, and I wanted to add music to the background. I can just give it a certain level of parameters, and boom, it will come up with a music video montage for me, which is very good. But you know, that replaces somebody's job. Somebody who makes music. Now they're being another aspect of their job is gone. So I look at it from more of a job killing prosperity. I mean, other people might see it as an easier way of being able to get some work done. I'm not good at video editing. I don't think that I should try to run to AI to fix my video editing problem. But if if they're making it easier to be able to do things, which in turn makes it harder for somebody to adapt to the new AI world that we're coming into. So here's another use case where artificial intelligence is changing the way that we even look at music or videos, adding music to videos, quote unquote, music videos. All right. So now that we're out of the artificial intelligence zone, we are more going into, let's see, this is from the cord cutters. This is kind of a bigger information for me. It's understanding what direction the communication industry is going in a whole. It's communication is not just a Comcast or a Spectrum or Dish. I'm talking about the whole apparatus as a whole. What direction are we going into? So here we go. So Comcast, Spectrum, and Dish are on track to lose over 5 million TV customers in 2024. Now, you know, this is kind of a big deal, very big deal. And the reason why I do follow this information because again it gives you an idea about what Comcast or Spectrum or Dish's response is going to end up being to losing 5 million TV customers in 2024. They've already was on slate last year to lose over like 3.5 million customers all, combined together. But what direction also are these companies going into? Well, the only way you can glean this information is looking at, some of the reporting that's going on. This is on Cut Quarters News, and make sure I turn these ads off. So in cord cutting news, like, right now, the first quarter of 2024 is already passed. So the first 3 months, and then people will start doing deep dives into, the gains and the losses of companies. And cord cutters has gone in and basically broke out the numbers for Dish, Comcast, and Spectrum. And so right now, Comcast has lost for the first quarter 487,000. Hold on. Over 487,000 TV customers. And that worked out for them over 5,300 subscribers a day. That's a lot of people dropping cable TV. And with cable TV on the decline, what does that say about current television watching? So more about that in a little bit, but after I go through a lot of these numbers, you know, and then on top of that, the company also lost 65,000 broadband customers for the quarter, jumping up from 34 in the last quarter of last year. So people are leaving Comcast. They're losing television, but then they're also losing, like, let's say, internet providers. So the jump is real. I don't know. Maybe some people might have different opinions. When you glean from this information, you would say that Comcast is running into a problem. And I think the problem is the fact that they're regional. So, Comcast doesn't really branch themselves out as much. There's not a Comcast in every state, right? There's not a Spectrum in every state. Dish is the only one that comes up that you possibly can get their service across all the lower 48. I don't think that you can do it from Canada. Not Canada, I'm sorry. You don't think you can do it from Alaska. But I think that that's another satellite that works differently. Spectrum, Charter Communications. Spectrum is the public facing arm. They lost 405 TV customers. Now, Spectrum obviously is the one that's growing the fastest and pushing more from the information that I've seen more of, but they are actively trying to stem the tide. Uh, Comcast has been very quiet, but Spectrum has really been pushing to try to keep their losses down, but they're still making losses. So all their hard work is still being, I say, being overly consumed by these losses of TV customers. And then they lost a lot of internet customers also. So was it second quarter in a row lost over 72,000 internet customers. Now, this trend is constantly is starting to move, and it's starting to move faster. So the question is what do these companies end up doing? Dish is the one that has the hardest because they provide television services over satellite. So it's not an infrastructure problem. I would say it's more along the lines of people not home problem. More people are on the go. More people are constantly moving around, and Dish hasn't really conformed well to the new level playing field. Now they do have the Sling TV, but they're seeing losses there also. So for Dish, 348,000 TV subscribers, leaving them with only 8.1 million TV subscribers left. Now, like I said, Dish is in a different situation. They don't have a huge infrastructure to upkeep. They just got to get people to stay. You know, People are using they don't have people using their fiber on other services like fixed wireless does. They're kind of like either it's all in or all out. But it with this information, you start going asking yourself, what is it going to take for the Dish, the Comcast, and the Spectrums of the world? They got to figure out a new way of monetizing or even gaining customers when you have fixed wireless. Fixed wireless, as much as fixed wireless is limiting, it's also be showing signs of pulling customers from traditional internet providers. I think that because of the limitations, it also makes for a interesting um, conversation. And the conversation we're starting to have now is, what is, you know, Comcast, Dish, and Spectrum second act going to be? Because at the rate that they're losing customers, they're going to start seeing hard losses very soon. 5 billion customers year over year. You're going to start running out a lot of customers. Dish is already showing signs. They're down to the 8.1 million customers now. You know, Fiber is being put in more places, so that's going to contribute to Dish's losses more than Comcast and Spectrum. But the problem you run into is Comcast and Spectrum are running into fixed wireless in areas that they are underserved. You know, I know that some people who are in the industry of Comcast and or Spectrum will say, hey, people they come over here, they're gonna come back, right? I've always been the component that people do migrate towards whatever is affordable more than whatever is convenient. Affordability is way more than what's convenient. Like, don't get me wrong, I wish I had with Comcast, you know, symmetrical data, but I don't have it. But if I was able to get higher symmetrical data at a lower, overall megabit that's reliable, I would do that. I don't really need 900 or 1,000, megabits per second down. I need the upload. And if somebody would provide that at a lower price, I take that all day, because the upload being symmetrical is a lot more important to me. And you talking about a lesser price than what I'm paying Comcast, I leave too. But currently, right now, this is the information that you end up gleaming, and it's more of a larger Picasso style understanding. You kind of want to really see where this is going to end up pushing the industry. And that's kind of what I'm looking at right now, especially like information from this next article I'm about to pull up. This is also about Spectrum. So let's close this out. Here we go. Spectrum. Pull that. All right. So this is from Light Reading, and Spectrum slash Charter is also in the selling mobile data business or selling mobile phones. And this is a branch of their business that's seeing a lot more growth. Now, the growth is starting to slow down. I think that they have pretty much maxed out I would say, their footprint. So remember, Spectrum slash Charter, that they don't operate all over the United States. They do have a MVNO deal with Verizon, but for the most part, they're providing services to their local footprint. Okay, so it's good to have, like, let's say that you are on Spectrum and you are looking for a new cell phone or cell phone service, and they come up and say, "Hey, you can get our phone, internet, and whatever other things they bundle in at a lower price." That's good. I think a lot of people are migrating over there, but now I think they've hit their saturation point and they're becoming more aggressive. So one of the things they're starting to becoming more aggressive is they're going to start doing mobile contract buyouts. So let's say that I lived in a Spectrum market and they know that I have their service, but I don't have their cell phone. Well, me migrating over to Charter slash Spectrum would be, a lot of people don't like the move, but if you have a good, let's say, a good deal for me, then I'm more inclined to move. So one of the biggest pain points is contracts. So depending on whoever's your service with, you probably sign a 2 year, 1 year, multiple year contract with whoever's your service provider is. So you're kind of locked in. They don't want you to leave. But like T-Mobile's done this before, where they end up just buying you out of your contract to move you over. Is worth it for them to, on the front end, to spend the money for the customer, because they'll eventually get it on the back end through your bill. So that now Charter's pulling it. I call this the T-Mobile turnaround. They're going out and they're going to actively go get customers and say, "Hey, look, you know what? You got cell phone service, right? We'll buy you out of your contract so we can move you over." Because I think they've gotten as many people they're going to get from from the major carriers or even some MVNOs, but they still, people are still walking around with contracted phones. So it's time to start, digging into them pockets and grabbing them people also. So if you got some good mobile contract buyouts deals going on, you might end up pulling another 300, 400,000 people from just doing that within your footprint. But see, if you're going this hard for just your footprint, imagine what would happen if you had access to the whole nation. That's the question that I always wonder about. Is these cable companies, they're seeing their influence starting to die down. You mean Charter? Charter is way more aggressive in this game than I see Xfinity slash Comcast. But you know, contract mobile buyouts is just another aggressive way to go after your competitors. I mean, they're gaining on this. Here, let's pull it up. Let's see. They are gaining customers this way. So right here, said Charter added 486,000 mobile lines in Q1, but it's down from 666,000 mobile lines last year, the same period. So they are starting to see a decline, and that decline is making them want to work more. And for the most part, they're doing something different that any other MVNO has done. Normally MVNOs will kind of run their whole network exclusively through the main carrier, whatever the main carrier of their choice. But Charter slash Spectrum, they opt to build their network as they're using Verizon's network. So they are in a very unique spot where they can leverage their existing fiber, cable, internet plant wherever they reside at, and use that to offset, cost of back to Verizon. So like right here, they're using CBRS, Spectrum, and radios in Charlotte. So I'm from North Carolina. So in Charlotte, they are using CBRS offload all that traffic that they would normally have their customers on Verizon. Now it's running on Charter's personal network, which that's good. I mean, it keeps your costs down, but the problem is you're still locked regionally to your footprint. Where let's say a T-Mobile, a Verizon can access more people via fixed wireless. So these are the interconnects that I look at to kind of glean which direction the industry is going in. Do I see a Comcast or a Charter trying to have aspirations for more global, not global, but more national appetite? I mean, Charter's kind of flirting with it being a phone carrier, but they're only as good as the network they provide to their customers within their footprint. So these are the things. I mean, with them being an MVNOs, like Xfinity has theirs, Charter has theirs, their MVNOs. It's going to make it harder to kind of glean what their next move is going to end up being. Is the next move buying a cell carrier? Because at this point, you're being overlapped by cell carriers. You got three playing in your backyard. I mean, I understand whenever I talk to No Radio about this information, like a lot of fiber providers, they don't like to overlap networks. So no overlap of networks, but you're being overlapped by the airwaves. And these airwaves are providing the same services that you are in the ground, except you're in the ground, you're not everywhere. There's a higher chance of being able to put a tower up and providing service to somebody who's not available on your footprint. What's up? No Radio, sir. What's up? So that's kind of how I look at it with the current state of things with the communication side. It's interesting to follow, and you're trying to glean what the next moves could possibly end up being. No Radio is lurking in the comments. Hold up. But yeah, that's kind of how I look at it right now. You got, yes, the internet providers. I call it, these are the major mafia families for the most part. The Charter, the Comcast, even Dish was up there for a good while. Um, they control certain segments of the United States. One didn't play in the other yard at all. Oh, thank you, Mr. No Radio, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. The one that's kind of how I look at it, me personally. Uh, how you might end up taking it, I'm just curious from other people's standpoint what you might think the industries are going to end up moving towards. If you got a theory, I would like to hear it. All right. Now, remember with the last story, um, you also have in the background happening. Hold on. Come on. Push that banner ad away. Man, ads are getting eva- more evasive, man. They're pushing it in hard. So Disney Plus. So Disney Plus here is cracking down on password sharing. But remember, this is just another cog in the wheel of the bigger side. They saw what Netflix did, and they saw their numbers go through the roof. So they're doing the same exact thing, cracking down on password sharing. So this is one I'm trying to inform. I want to inform people that if you got Disney Plus or Hulu Plus or whatever, that's now a ABC Disney property, yeah, you might want to call your neighbors and let them know what's about to go down. No radio. What's up, sir?
What's happening in napping?
Not happening and napping.
Yeah.
Yo, so I'm talking about right now the bigger picture of the communication industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking about earlier that the Spectrum and Xfinity and Dish all had losses last quarter, and they're projecting it to go out to like 5 million combined for all three.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was like 3.4 million last year. So they're counting another 2 million more people this year than last year. And I know that with the conversation I've had with you, I'm trying to look. I want to look at the bigger picture of, and then you got Disney cracking down on passwords because they see that group of people migrating away from traditional television and maybe even traditional internet providers and moving towards a Disney Plus or a Hulu or Netflix. They got to go somewhere. They don't just die and then disappear. They're moving.
Good riddance.
What's that?
Good riddance.
Good riddance? No. Man, if these people have jobs, they need to be employed.
Cable TV needs to die.
Oh, God.
It has to.
Well, look, hey, I mean, like a Phoenix.
It would move forward without it much better.
Well, I think that
nowhere near as profitable as internet and cellular. It's just not. That's it. It just isn't. It's just another thing that keeps people longer, but it's not profitable.
I understand that.
Costs you way more money to provide TV than it does to provide internet. Once you remove those losses and you focus on nothing but internet, the internet can become better.
That's true. I mean, that's even from more of a hardware standpoint. I mean, the regular television eats up resources. It eats up more resources than it would be able to provide internet.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that from the conversation that I've had with you, and when talking about like fiber and whatnot, one of the things that I was looking at from more of a 30,000 feet up is I feel that being a regional carrier of any sort is a detriment now.
Well, that's always been a detriment.
I mean, look at look what happened with U.S. Cellular. They were regional, and now they just can't operate no more.
Exactly, but we knew that. We already knew that was going to happen.
Oh yeah, I mean, we automatically knew that.
The only real purpose any regional carrier ever actually served is roaming for other big carriers. That is it. For the consumer, regional carriers are a joke.
That's true. But here's the thing. The way that I'm seeing the industry go, and honestly, I know that this is going to sound crazy for some people, but you have national carriers like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile having aspirations of being the cable provider for people, but they have a larger footprint. Yes, spectrum is very finite.
So
that much I do understand.
We give the word cable TV too much value.
What do you mean?
Cable live TV period has nowhere near the value it had just 10 years ago.
Oh no, the value of that has dropped off.
We got to stop saying pay TV subscribers. We have to stop saying that because it doesn't make any sense. It barely makes sense for our generation, and it makes zero sense for the next generation. The next generation doesn't watch anything live, so they could care less. So when it comes down to it, we got to stop saying pay TV and just say entertainment. They have aspirations to be an entertainment, however it may cost.
But then what about live television like sports
Sports
and
will be
different
the only thing left. That is it. There is no other live TV that matters.
because I mean I do feel you on that. I just looking at it from the small carrier. I still see a Comcast and a Spectrum being a regional carrier.
Oh, you're talking about in
Even
the
with
cellular world.
the aggressiveness that Spectrum is doing.
What do you mean aggressive? You said carrier. You talking about cellular service?
Well, cellular service also.
No one ever. They have no aspirations to be national, and if they did, they would just buy a company. The only purpose of the cellular plan is to give another hook into the customer. They could care less about being national. They don't care.
Oh.
Telling you, they don't care. They don't. All they want to do
But
is figure out how to make it profitable what they have, which is why in large cities where they do have a high customer base, they will build some native stuff to help offload it to make it more
right.
profitable. Outside of that, there is going to be nothing happening for an absolutely very long time.
Oh man,
that's just the way it is. They don't want to build some giant cellular network. You got to realize the two companies you're naming still have to upgrade their existing infrastructure. They don't have time to be worried about cell towers all over the country. They could care less. They don't care.
That.
It's easier to be an MVNO, and even if you only make $2 profit, but you end up making a bigger profit because you retain the customer longer on your other products that are more profitable, it doesn't matter. That's like when you used to go to the bank when you was a little kid. My mama used to go to this bank called BB&T. Don't exist anymore.
I remember BB&T. I remember that.
BB&T had them green suckers. Okay. Every time I got in that line with my mama, and she go through the little drive-through thing, they put the envelope in the tube, and then
yep.
And when they come back, they always say, "Do you want sucker?" Yeah. They was brainwashing me from a child to know that there were suckers waiting on the other side of that tube. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh.
What I'm making is the bank was giving away the suckers at no profit, but they created relationships with people who didn't even know they were creating relationships with.
That's true. I understand that.
The smallest little things you can do, even when they're not profitable, can help your bigger picture. Which is why the cell companies the big cable companies don't need to operate some gigantic network of cellular. They don't need it. It's just a hook for the rest of their business.
Okay, but here's the thing. Now, granted, if we were talking about one being more superior than the other, fixed wireless is not superior to fiber, but it allows a telecommunication company like a Verizon to overlay their product into a Comcast or a Spectrum footprint.
But once again, they can't put 400 houses on a tower.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
But what they can do is start trying to convert.
What they can do is take maybe 10 or 15%, but then they congest the site and now they can't add anymore. So it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I keep saying. I don't think y'all realize how many houses are in areas in these cities.
Oh no!
Even millimeter wave.
I live in the city. I know.
Even millimeter wave can't save you in these scenarios. Not because it doesn't have capacity, but because it just can't be accessed at every single nook and cranny. It just can't. And you're gonna have to go above and beyond to make it access. And by that time, you might as well be building a damn cable network because you're gonna have to run fiber to all them sites. That's the same as just building fiber.
But that's what I'm saying.
So that's why I'm saying
if you're gonna already be providing more, like I look at it from a top down point of view, right? Is you got to find the customers. There's going to be customers, and then you can start branching over to where they are instead of building out everywhere and then hope that you get we talked about this before with AT&T.
But technically, Keon, no one has ever done the opposite of what you just said. No company has ever just built a network and hope people got on it. That has never happened in any form of networking. Even the cable companies, they didn't just cover whole towns from day one. They didn't just go, hey, we're going to cover the whole city. No, they literally went neighborhood by neighborhood. And every time they had more neighborhoods get built, people were down the street waving, going, hey, man, y'all going to come to us? And then they went there. They didn't build this
Right.
stuff in order. That's why even now, if you go out in these neighborhoods and you look at these nodes, you'll have a node that'll be this node right here on this street will be node 85, and then the next one over node 192.
Right.
It's because they literally went and built every node between 185 and 194, and sorry, 191, and they came back and stuck in 192. They don't just
No.
build networks blind; they all build by demand.
But the way that I was trying to describe it is which one, like, what process is easier to do?
Yeah, but what I'm
Like
saying is this other
we
process
talked
doesn't
about what it
exist.
takes.
You're
We
saying
talked
there's some
about what it
process
takes to
of just building stuff. I'm telling you that it doesn't exist. There ain't no which. There is only one process, and the process you build by demand, no matter what type of network you're building. They've already been doing that. You haven't discovered some new frontier of how to find customers. That's always been the way it works. That's what
True.
I'm trying to tell
That's
you.
true.
There's no
Hey, look,
planet where they go, hey, let's
I
just
was
go
looking
build
at
everything and hope people take the service.
I was
No.
looking at it. I was looking at it from what is easier to provide now to get the customer on board while you try to build towards them. Instead of saying, "Hey, look, you're not on our roadmap right now," and then
Yeah,
those
but
potential customers are not being served.
once again, we've already discussed that nobody's going to build two fiber networks. So guess what? The majority of areas where there's a high concentration of customer base already has millimeter wave and all these things. Verizon ain't gonna go back there and just, since we got so many wireless people, we gonna might build fiber here. That's never going to happen because someone else already has fiber there. So that scenario
True.
doesn't even make sense. You see what I'm saying? There's no scenario where Verizon goes, look how many people want us over there. Let's go build fiber. It ain't gonna happen because somebody else already got fiber there.
But nobody else. That
You're,
would
you're
that would
fighting
that
to the
kind of
bottom. You're fighting to
but
the
that,
bottom again.
But then that kind of breaks that whole conversation that we had last week, where T-Mobile was it? No, it was last week, a week before last, because T-Mobile is trying to buy Lumen, right?
Exactly. They're
So
not trying to build anything. They're buying it. That is different. Remember, I
it's
told
true,
you the best networks are bought, not built.
but
History has proven that.
Lumen, but yeah, right. For right now, Lumen
If you
doesn't
want to expand
offer
to a territory, you don't go build it. You buy
buy it. I understand.
it.
Hey, look, there are multiple fiber companies in even in the metro area that I am here. I mean,
Yeah.
there you have FiOS, you have Comcast. I think AT&T provides fiber here because it's federal government side. So there are multiple fiber providers even in the cities.
Yeah, but they're not overlapping all the same streets.
Uh,
That's my point. They're still picking zero neighborhoods to go in. They're not willingly going all down the same damn street for the same 15 houses. Hey, that dead end street has 15 houses. Let's all put fiber on that street. That's not happening, dog. One of them went down this little neighborhood, and then two neighborhoods over is another company. That'll happen, but there's never going to be everybody wants to put their stuff in the same neighborhood. It's not going to happen. So if you look at a neighborhood
mhm,
right now, and say Verizon shows up with their home internet, right? Not Fios,
right,
just wireless, right? This neighborhood already has AT&T fiber. It already has Spectrum. And then and we look at this neighborhood, or we're going to call it the node. This node has 299 homes in it. If Verizon manages to take 15% of those people, right? Which we
right.
already know that probably ain't going to happen considering their wireless product costs more than the fiber,
Mm.
even with the bundle, half the time, costs more than the fiber. They're going to come in and take 10% of the people. That's no motivation for them to come back now and build a whole fiber neighborhood. Doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. That's irrelevant. What they are doing, the truth of what Verizon and what these guys are doing, they are selling excess capacity. Even they know they can't take a whole node of customers because they literally can't support it. So for them, it's monetizing the tower to the max. Has nothing to do. What I'm telling you is that I don't even think they believe they're competing with cable. They just trying to take advantage of the extra money that can be made getting a few of the people. That's it.
Hmm.
I don't even believe that they think they are. That's all I'm trying to tell you. They're
No,
just
no,
going.
no. Hey,
Some of them people are mad right now. They build one up. We can make money off them. Why not? That's what I believe their situation is.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that. Yeah, look, it's the same exact way that I look at like the music streaming company. We all know that Spotify has the hardest time because they don't have anything else to offer the customer.
How do they have a hard
YouTube,
time? They're the biggest one on the planet. They're
they're the
winning.
biggest one on the planet, but they benefited from being like out there first. But here's the thing: I see their shores are eroded a lot. Like I know that me and you told me before that everybody that hops in my car is not indicative of
Yeah, you
what
got one
what's
sample
going
group.
on, but I do get people that go, "Oh, this is YouTube Music. I didn't know YouTube was doing this. I didn't know." But the thing is, it always comes back around to what people know, and then what happens when they find
So I,
out.
yeah,
Same
I
thing
get
about
that.
YouTube TV.
Yeah, I get that, right? Would you not agree that there are subsets of people, for example, there is a group of people in America that could care less about ever traveling to DC for any reason.
That's true.
You're never going to get that sample group.
I think so. I mean, a lot. Look,
That's what I'm saying.
I've
That's
seen
all I'm
I've seen
saying,
more
though, right?
people. I've
That's
seen
all.
more people in different walks of life than
I get that, right?
I
But
did when I
but
was from North Carolina.
what I'm saying is, but yeah, but look where you lived.
That's true. True. True.
Just saying, go to a city and stay there for 5 years, and you'll see some shit. You're gonna see some different stuff. So my point is, though, your sample group is still based on a subgroup. Your sample group isn't the entire Americas. The only way to get a true sample group is to go to every region and stay in those regions for extended periods of time and sample the groups, and you'll find different stuff.
No, I understand.
So
I was just looking at it. I was looking at a lot of this a lot of this from the economical scale, right? It does get like even putting fiber in the ground eventually gets cheaper over time. It just does. It's not
you think
the
that,
upfront,
but here's the problem. Here's the problem with that too, though, right? That's
right?
not necessarily true, and I'm gonna tell you why. The
Why?
technology may get cheaper, but the labor gets more expensive.
Hmm.
See, there's a double-edged sword there that everybody's overlooking. Yeah, the cable might have got cheaper. The splices might have got cheaper, but guess what? The guy splicing it costs more now.
True.
I've seen this thing where well, I'm gonna say I see. From what I understand, a certain company, the value of a slice to that company is about $350. That's what a
Ooh.
slice is worth to them. And what I mean by that is this: they may pay the person doing the labor a certain price. So think about this: say you make Coca Colas, right? One can of
Yeah.
Coke might cost you 5 cents to make, but your retail suggested value is 99 cents.
Right.
Labor works the same way. Just because your labor is $40 an hour doesn't stop you from retail valuing it at $200.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you go
I
ahead, I
see
got
what
to
you're
pay him
saying.
$40 an hour.
Hey,
Then
look,
I got to pay for his
it
insurance
probably
plan.
costs
His, so what I'm saying is,
it probably cost them nothing to get them eggs, but hey, somebody got to put them eggs in them crates.
and
So
that's my point, right? Labor is going up because of cost of living. So even though fiber is going down, the labor is just taking it all back up, i.e., the machinery that makes it, right? That machinery
right,
and equipment may be getting more and more cheaper because they've more perfected it. They know how to make good machines that can make it, right? But the guy running the machine costs more. The maintenance guy that shows up to fix it when it breaks, he costs more.
but
Then, then the truck driver who puts the reels of cable on the back of the truck and drives them across the country to get to where it's going in the ground,
that costs
he
more.
costs more. The gas costs more. And then the guy putting it in the ground costs more. So you can lower the cost of the equipment, but the labor cost keeps going up. So basically, it ends up staying the same or being more.
Uh,
It ain't getting that much cheaper to put fiber in the ground. That's what I'm telling you. It's not cheap as you think. I've seen the prices on the projects. I've seen single neighborhoods with $1.8 million for one neighborhood to put fiber. I've
mm.
seen it.
But yeah, they're buying fiber like cotton candy now.
You go cover 270 houses and it costs you $1.8 million just for the labor cost to get it in the ground.
True.
Labor cost and equipment, 1.8 million. How long take to get your money back with people's
It's gonna
bills?
be a while.
That's my point. Especially if you're fighting to the bottom on pricing and you're doing $50 a month pricing.
But see, that's where the industry's going. Now, I mean, look, I see like you add these bundles like Disney Plus is doing like Disney Plus plus Max plus Hulu to entice more people to use because I mean, like on this article, they're starting to crack down on passwords now because they see the explosion.
I got the numbers for you, by the way. If you spend
Uh-huh.
$1.8 million to cover 270 something houses with fiber,
Yeah.
if everybody in the neighborhood signs up for the base plan, you're only going to pull in $162,000 a year from that neighborhood. How
Right.
long before you get to 1.8 million?
It's gonna be a while.
It's going to
It's
take you
gonna be
like
a
12
while.
years. It's take you 12 years.
That's true.
Or roughly. I'm just that's my point though. That's the reason why, like I said, this stuff, yeah, oh, it's so much cheaper to deploy. Yeah, but the cost that you can sell it for is going down. The labor is going up. So the cable itself may be a little bit cheaper, the fitness may be cheaper, but the labor is more and the market is more picky about what they're willing to pay.
Right.
That is all the
But
factors you have to
but here's
add
the
into
thing though,
the
radio,
equation.
the market is swinging in a different direction. I mean, yeah, don't
So
get me
the market is
wrong.
getting
I
no
know.
the internet's getting cheaper, not more expensive. And anybody tells you different, or they don't understand how math works.
Oh, hey, look, I got another article talking about that because uh that's where that's where the rub is because okay, so we all know the at what point the different advocates were against the T-Mobile Sprint merger, right? They
Yep,
were again like, oh, it's going to cause people to lose their jobs. Yes, whenever you combine two companies together, there are going to be job loss. I mean, you're gonna,
absolutely.
that's a given. But one of the things they were saying is, hey, it was going to cause people's bills to go up, right? Or higher increase of wireless, right? And here, T-Mobile got is getting sued because of this merger, and
I
they're
bet there's
talking
one
about
word. I bet there's one word this article doesn't say one time.
what's that?
Inflation.
You know what? I read the article. I didn't see inflation nowhere in it.
There you go. So if they didn't say inflation, this whole argument could be thrown in the trash.
I didn't see inflation at all.
I looked at
They didn't. They didn't
this the
even. They
same
didn't
thing.
even mention pandemic.
People are crying about the same thing with Toyota right now. They're crying about
Yeah.
how high the forerunners are.
Uh huh.
And like some dude was like, "Yo, I paid $36,000 for my Forerunner in 1999, fully loaded. With inflation, that same car is 70 something $1,000 today."
Oh
And then
God.
some, and he's like, "So technically, Toyota's got cheaper." And he's right.
Yeah.
He's right, and that's the part that I laugh about. People will mention inflation when they cry about the gas price, but they don't mention it to make the math to say, is it actually more based on what I made when it was cheaper? They
Right.
ignore that part. They just want to get raises, but nothing go up around them. That don't work that way.
Nah, because there's more money in the economy, and the companies want to access that money. They want to get a hold of that money, so they start raising their prices around it. I mean, the same thing
Dude,
about the gas prices. They knew they saw people, getting money. They were getting them PPP loans.
yep.
That money was just sloshing all through the economy. Gas companies
I,
were like, "Bet we about to get paid. Raise them dollars."
yeah, I get it. People don't like inflation, but it does not change. It does not change its effects in both directions. Yes, the price you see on the sign is a higher number, but is it higher relative to the income of the people around? It
Right.
matters. Those things matter. Everybody
But look,
conveniently avoids.
in this one they were talking about like that because T-Mobile quote unquote gobbled up the number 4 ranking rival, that it has caused the overall plans to go up across the board, which I find this to be kind of like what I call like what two other companies do and what the first company does are two totally different things. You know, we all know that Verizon and AT&T raised their prices. They just blatantly came out and was like, "Yo, we're gonna raise our price." Sorry, T-Mobile's been pretty steady. They didn't. My bill did go up, but not because of T-Mobile. It went up because of Netflix, right? So when Netflix kept raising their prices, which caused my cell phone bill to go up because that my cell phone bill itself didn't go up. It was the price of Netflix went up, but that's what you call like pulling cat hairs. But the problem is the company that you're complaining about raising about higher pricing is the one that's not raising prices. The overall industry is doing it regardless.
Yeah. Got to, their wages is going up.
Hey, you got to keep squeezing that Lincoln's bloody nose. Got to pull a booger out of there somehow.
I mean, it's what it is. Everybody, I'm just ready. My main goal is I'm ready to pivot. So whatever ship sinks, I won't be on it when it's sinking. That's my only goal.
So what ship do you see sinking? Because
It could be any ship.
I see the cable companies sinking right now.
Yo, any ship can sink though. That's the point.
That's true.
Any ship. There ain't nobody safe, dog. You got to be ready to pivot. So you can do two things. You can sit back and complain about it, or you can be ready to pivot.
That's true.
I'm ready to pivot.
Hey, look, I'm just trying to see which ship is going down. Like we all know that this is heading. It has already hit the reefs.
Well, certain companies are already downsizing, and you already know, like I know, the very first departments to get cut is customer service.
That's true.
I can let you know that there is a certain company that is cutting some customer service people.
Uh-oh. Are you able to talk about the said companies, or we're gonna be left in the dark here?
No, sir. That should have been the answer. I mean,
say what?
That was your answer.
Well, I got lost in the sauce, sir. I got lost.
Well, man, if I can't talk about it, why?
Well, my bad.
Go. Everybody in the audience got it. Everybody in the audience got it. But yeah.
I missed it. It went over my head.
Well, stand up. Shit.
Oh, dang. Not stand up. But look, man. I'm just saying that the year-end losses, and then you got, advocates coming out talking about higher pricing on, cell phone bills because of mergers. It makes it kind of hard to understand what's happening right now. Are the bills going higher, or are we just leveling out, right? Are we leveling out, or are we going under? Which one is it? That's kind of how I'm trying to understand it.
The price is adjusting with the market, as it should.
That much I do know. I mean, inflation goes up, people bills go up. I think that T-Mobile has weathered the storm a lot better. Everybody keeps saying that it's time for them to start charging more. Me and Tech Life don't see eye to eye when I'm on, the website formerly known as Twitter. He's saying, for the 15th time that T-Mobile is getting ready to raise pricing. I'm like, yo, you starting to sound like the boy that cries wolf. But it's just like, I understand that from a company standpoint, but there's different ways that you can, there's always different ways you can skin a cat, right? You can increase revenue without doing the exact thing that every other company does. If you look at this from more of a speed walking and not a full on race, like a speed race from 0 to 100. You could take your time raising your revenue, which is less impactful to your customers. Or you could pull the Verizon approach and just go ahead and say, yeah, we raising your bill and you can sue us later. Have a nice day.
Alrighty. So I got the numbers for us.
Uh-oh.
Do you know what the average salary was in the United States in the year 2020?
In 2020, the average salary, I would say low 200,000.
You said,
Wrong.
what? You think everybody's rich or something?
Hey, that's what everybody keep claiming. That hey, I got money in my pocket, so apparently.
You're saying the average person in America makes $200,000. That's what you just
No,
said.
no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I would say it was somewhere
All right.
about 35 to 45,000.
All right. So here we go. It was $69,000.
69.
Yep.
Okay, so I was under by 30,000, and that was in 2020.
Yep.
So that was before our inflationary information started going crazy.
But technically, inflation was already in full effect at this time, but people didn't feel it because everybody was at home. So gas got cheap. Everybody started ignoring,
Right.
the market.
Oh, they were watching the market. They were watching their 401ks disappear. Oh my God, my 401k is going away.
I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you through the whole pandemic, my 401k literally only maybe lost $1,000. And I got all that back already. So, I mean, I know some people's 401ks, I guess maybe, but I think some of that's exaggerated as well. A lot of that's not 401k losses, that's stock losses. That's like regular investor losses.
Oh look, other thing, you should hear these Tesla stock owners, man, they are losing it. They're losing their marbles right now. But that's a whole another subject. But what is it now today?
It's worse. People are making less money.
So prices are going up and people are making less. That
But
is
there's
just
a
a
reason
weird
for that,
concept.
though. There's a reason for that.
What is it?
Less people are working.
Yeah.
A lot
Less
of
people are
people.
working?
Yes, a lot of people stopped working after the pandemic. You didn't know this?
That much I do know, but
A large group of Americans literally never went back to work. They just decided to stay home with their kids and things of that nature. The workforce the workforce literally changed, and now we have a bunch of young workers, and the young people don't make any money.
that's true.
That's what's actually happening. A lot of the older people who were like, so we've had a big problem in this country for a long time with old people not retiring. So
Yeah.
when they end up staying around with these companies way past retirement, and they soak up all the money. Well, a bunch of them after the pandemic hit, they were offered severances and they disappeared. So those high incomes they were making at those high points in life, because you make
Yeah.
most of the money later in life, between 43 and I'm gonna say between 43 and 65 is your peak income. A
Right.
large group of them people never came back to the workforce after the pandemic. They took
Mm.
severances and they went home. So the market, the group of sample people changed. So now we're sampling a lot more young people than we are those older people with money.
No, I understand that.
And then not to
But
mention
but
markets
I
like real
mean,
estate, real estate is dead compared to what it was. There's nowhere
oh
near as
yeah.
many houses selling. So guess what happens to all the realtors? They get less commissions. Like there's a lot to it.
True.
There's way more to it than just the surface.
The branches of the economy have shrunken, which causes the financial side to shrink also.
Yeah.
So when you don't have those avenues that are pushing the economy, like the more that industries pull back, it pulls back others. Like
And I hate to
what
say
is
it,
it?
not to mention the people who died, who were high income earners.
Yeah,
The
a lot
older
of
group.
people, a lot of people who got caught COVID and passed away.
Yeah, they were high
So
earner people. They were older high earners that had already been in their field for 20, 30 years. Hmm.
that is true.
So when you delete a whole sample group of people who make like 20% of the money, the average money goes down.
So if
Yeah,
all this information that we're talking, how is it a company is suing T-Mobile for higher
because you,
pricing
sir,
when
a company sued Texas Pete for calling Texas Pete. Okay, you can sue for anything because it's Tuesday, sir.
oh
If you have a business you roast marshmallows and the sign says hot marshmallows and I get mine and it's cold. Hey, this is false advertising.
dang man,
This is America, bro. I can break in your house and sue you for me getting hurt. Come on, homie.
that is very true.
Lawsuits don't mean nothing, bro. Most lawsuits are just, to be truthful, most lawsuits are just blackmail.
That is
they're,
very true.
they're hoping to settle. They don't.
Hey, it's like, oh, my back. But I'll set out a court
Look
for a
at
ham
Diddy.
and cheese
Look at the
sandwich.
Diddy situation. He got sued by Miss Cassie. He said, I didn't do none of that.
Uh-huh.
But he paid her anyway. And then
Right. But
the
you didn't
video.
do nothing, right?
And then we get the video.
Dang. But you didn't do nothing, right?
A lawsuit don't have to be true to file it.
That's true.
But if you can convince a jury of uneducated people in your beliefs, then you can win.
Man, don't you just love America? Don't you just love it? But hey, you wasn't here for my AI stories. I don't know if you caught
Thank,
wind of it.
thank God I missed it.
Oh, what do you mean, man? That's the big thing right now. Even for this next story right here, I got a little bit of Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. So hold up. So Verizon is jumping into the whole AI train, man. They're expecting to double their network thanks to AI. Did, did No Radio leave me? He left me. All right. So in this article here, Verizon is expected to double network thanks to AI demand. So they see possible growth from AI and use of AI on their own network.
Guess what? Whenever the whole internet business runs dry, the AI will take the rest. Hey, and that's smart. Nothing wrong with that. You got to monetize, like I just told you. You got to monetize it every way you can.
Every way you can. Hey, look, I'm just saying, like,
Nothing
this
wrong
is
with it.
I see this more of a Verizon taking that penny and chopping it into tiny little bits now. They're like, how many different parts of this Lincoln nodes can we get?
I say, get your money, BZ. Do your thing.
But yeah, hey, look, as I read this article, I was like, oh man, AI is in everything now.
I was
It's not
playing with
only it's
AI.
inside my
I
phone, it's
played with
inside
some
my
AI
phone
this
bill.
week. I'll tell you about it later. Not in here.
Okay.
And I'm here to tell you, I found out that the AI is not that smart. I'll tell you why,
Do,
though.
do you, do you know that that's something I find weird about the whole premise of AI? Is I feel that the hype train behind it, right? Even like when you watch, if you watched, I watched the summary of Google I/O, right? And they claim they said AI like 135 times,
Yep.
but really what it's doing is just everything that Google can do in the first place, except a little bit more enhanced. So if you primarily use Google for search, like I do, and I type in like today's top news for technology, it just gives me a synopsis of everything. You don't even give me links anymore. It's just like, yo, this is what's going on. Da, 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 da. I'm like, all right, cool. Where's the reference information that goes along with this? No, I gotta Google search the Google search. Like I was like, yo, you didn't this AI didn't do nothing for me except made it just gave me a synopsis of everything else. Like a lot of the information that I went through earlier was me going online and pulling the information and be like, hey, look, music and AI, Reddit and AI, but the Reddit and AI story wasn't even prevalent. I had to search for the Reddit AI story so I can find it. I'm
I
like,
have
the AI
literally
didn't even do
found
nothing for me.
I found like 50 times where AI would have saved the day if it actually worked and it couldn't do it. There's so many base
Dang.
like you're describing. There's so many basic things, like they're just the most basic thing that a person that knows how to type on a keyboard could get the answer to themselves in less than like 3 minutes, and AI can't
Uh-huh.
even do it to begin with. Like that's
Yeah.
what you think about. That's what you think about the concept of that. I can do it in 3 minutes. AI still can't do it. It ain't ready. That's why I'm not that
Yeah,
excited.
but I feel that the push is to like it's just the new hot word, right? It's whatever like the new
Yeah, but they go
it's
too
whatever.
far. Okay, think
Oh
about
no,
this,
they
Keon. Right?
they have gone too far.
This is what I'm saying. Right? This is what I'm saying. They will push that AI can go to outer space, but it still can't fly a plane yet on Earth. You get what I'm trying to say? Like
I
they
get what
always
you're
give you
saying.
all these through the moon like applications that are irrelevant to just the basic everyday needs. And the basic
Yeah,
everyday needs is where you'll change the world.
that's true. Hey, look,
So
it's the same thing about like let's take self driving, right? Self driving cars are coming. That's something I am not blind to, but it's
yeah,
your approach.
it's already putting Uber drivers out of business in half of these states
Yeah,
that are
but
pushing
it's
live.
it's not. But it's
Yeah.
not like I'm blind to the fact. It's just it's about your approach, and that's why I criticize Tesla. Is because your approach is reckless. I talked about this on a previous videos, but Tesla's approach is reckless. And the same thing about AI is like, what are you solving? You're not solving nothing for me, but you want me to believe in the whole AI's mindset, right? Google
Exactly.
has all this extra processing power, and they want to monetize it. They want to monetize that extra processing power. So, from my point of view, I think that yeah, it sounds good. I think every company is going to end up having some type of AI, you know, mantra leg, whatever banner they want to put up underneath Verizon powered by AI or T-Mobile brought to you by AI. It's going to be something that they can just throw in some banner
It's
ad and
not
hope
gonna
for the best.
and it ain't gonna do a daggum thing.
Well, it's hard to figure out what you can end up using it for. Like,
Prime example. Prime example. I can go into I can walk into a parts store 20 years ago and cross reference and spark plug across all the brands. Google's AI
right,
still can't do that.
dang,
20 years ago I could do this. Hell, probably 25 years ago I could do it by literally typing in a part number and it would give me every compatible part. AI still can't do it right now. What in the heck? The simplest thing. I still have to go to the
because
manufacturer's website, then cross reference on their site, and then go back to this site. It's bro, the simplest little stuff is where you could have shined. But no.
I feel like sometimes companies go for the shooting for the stars
Yeah,
instead
but they
of
ain't gonna
it,
get there either. They ain't accomplishing either. That's the
which
problem.
is which is weird. Look,
It's
I
you know
understand.
why
I'm
it's
right there
not
with
weird. It's
you.
because it's a scam. That's the truth, Keon. AI, the AI that we have right now is a scam. Facts.
Well, hey, look, AI is
Real
being
talk.
used for good and evil. I mean, look, it's
It's a
not
trigger
only
word.
a scam, but it's scamming people.
I think the truth is this: these companies have run out of new ideals on products, so now they're going to try to put all these things in a mysterious AI bag as the future, so they can continue to monetize and get you to pay for an upgraded processor because it has better AI processing, neural net, whatever crap that
Oh
you ain't even
yeah,
using. Like it's just dumb. It's just at
yeah.
this point, if you still can't do basic things, then I don't need you. The whole purpose of AI is supposed, in theory, if you're using say in a computer, right? You get one of these new kids. and you give them a homework assignment, and you tell them, "Hey, I want you to write about Martin Luther King." I would bet money that I could write an entire article using traditional study methods
Uh-huh.
faster and better than half of these kids using AI. Mainly because obviously they can't just copy the AI word for word because that would be cheating, but they only
Right.
use it as a study tool. I would bet I would outrun them in getting an assignment done.
Yeah, you would, but you have more critical thinking.
That's
Like
the
that's
point I'm
one of
making.
that's the thing that's missing in like today's society is critical thinking. So like I feel like a lot of people just don't want to be wrong sometimes. I speculate on a lot of stuff, but it kind of keeps my mind open about newer possibilities, right? Um that's the reason why the last subject we were talking about was Comcast, Verizon, and everybody kind of overlap. I want to know what's coming down the pipeline. Things that are not going to be reported. So I critically think about other things that possibly can come down the pipeline. That's
And the
just how
truth
I
of the
always
matter
think.
is, companies, the big ISPs, aka the cable companies, they have to pivot to fully internet as their business model, which they technically have already embraced it. So
Right.
who cares about pay TV sub losses? Nobody. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Nobody cares. And I would
But
almost
here's
say
the
even
thing.
the
Now,
corporates don't care. They don't care either.
but no, really. But the thing is now is like that all these consultants jobs are drying up because of the potential that AI might be able to replace them.
But I've already proven to you that the AI can't do something right now that you could do on a green screen 30 years ago. That's all
Yes.
I'm saying. That's
Very
all I'm
true.
saying. That's my point. These people are a lot safer than you think they are.
Oh, look. When it comes, like I said, when it comes to like self driving, I'm not like I said, I'm not blind to the fact, but we're still 20 years out from full self-driving autonomy.
I
Like
get that. I get
when
that,
I
right?
say full
But
self-driving
but
autonomy,
you
I
have to
mean
remember
like
something though. The cities where they have heavily deployed it, it has already killed the market. And that doesn't mean that it's doing the job better than the Uber drivers, but it is significant enough that it takes money to the point that you can't afford the Uber drive anymore, even though you
that's
still
true.
have a place. There's the problem. So what
Yeah,
you're gonna it ain't that you're gonna go away, it's that you're not gonna be competing with the robot, which means you're gonna make less money.
yeah,
That's the point. That is what I'm saying. It ain't that the drivers are going to go away tomorrow, but your profits are going to tank tomorrow. If some company like the ones that are setting up in San Francisco and all these places, if they come to DC and they set up shop, your
oh,
income is
they're
going to
already in DC.
dramatically shrink.
They're already in DC, man. I saw a Waymo car the
Hmm.
last like this week. I've seen that probably it might be the same Waymo car, but
I
it's been
told you,
driving around with a driver in the car for like a couple of days now.
you don't remember I showed you my cousin out in Arizona? He said, no
Yeah,
wonder ain't no Uber rides. And he turns his phone and it's a damn Waymo car getting all the money.
dang.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. My cousin Don D's in Phoenix. And he's like, man, I ain't got an Uber ride in hours. And the Waymo had somebody sitting in it.
Dang.
Yeah. So even though it ain't ready, guess what? It's ready enough to compete for the market.
That's true.
That's why you gotta have the pivot.
Gotta have a pivot.
Somebody like you need to figure out how you can work for Waymo.
That's true.
You see, you gotta take your experience and get there before. Can't wait till it kills you. Now you want to come knock on the door. Hey, y'all, let me in. To get in the door now. I'm like, hey, I got a lot of experience with driving in the city. I know about different things y'all may not know. I know customer pain points. You got to get in the door. You got to pivot.
That's true.
Because if you wait for the ship to drive, then you got to go look for whole new boat to get on.
Mm.
Meanwhile, you out there like Jack on Titanic, while she's on the damn door,
Uh,
you freezing.
hey man, there was enough room on that damn plank, man.
Wasn't
There
a
was enough
room to play.
room. There was enough room on that plank for two people. Jack didn't have to die. He
But
didn't
the,
have
but
to
the
die.
but maybe the weight might have made the plank sink too far in the water, so you would have still froze to death. Then both of y'all might have died. Remember,
Mm.
Jack didn't drown. Jack froze.
Jack froze and then drowned.
That's the point. You would have probably both froze and then drowned on the plank.
Hey, I love if that was the case. Our love dies together.
But yeah, I mean, that's it. That's why I'm always eyeballing. I'm always eyeballing my pivot.
That's true. I understand. Hey man, you're an entrepreneur. You got multiple things,
Oh man.
but yeah. So not to leave out AT&T was in this storyline up. Here we go. Speaking of going towards the stars, AT&T goes up against T-Mobile and Starlink with AST Space Mobile satellite deal. So AT&T is copycatting T-Mobile with their own space mobile um, deal with AST.
You can't call it copycat because this they had already planned to do it even before T-Mobile announced, sir.
Hey. T-Mobile
Not
made it look
copycat.
cool, and AT&T was like, we got to talk about it too.
But they
Because
already had agreed. They had already planned to do this before T-Mobile did it.
I know they
So they
showed that it
didn't
was
do it. It's not the same
AT.
thing as copycat. And planning it, they already had a. They already planned it. It ain't
They
new.
they had a contract. They started doing it. It was I think it was like 2018,
Mm-hmm.
way before the merger between Sprint and T-Mobile was even talked about heavily.
Yep. Yep.
But um, now that AT&T's turned up the juice, their deal is the deal will last into the 2030s. You know what? My question is this: is do you see this as being another extension of cell phone carriers, or are they going to end up, if it's good enough, will they stop building altogether?
I don't believe they're going to stop building.
I mean, I've always thought that okay, this is just a stopgap to
So here's the
get
thing, right?
to
The word
get it
"stop
going.
building" implies building nothing. Choosing not to build in a spot is not the same thing as stopping building. That's the point I'm trying
No,
to make.
no, 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 no. It's not the same.
If you put a satellite in space and there is a spot in the middle of the desert that you literally got one phone to ping off of for the last 5 years, why in the hell would you put a cell tower there? It's the point I'm trying to make.
That's
So
true.
there are places where there is never a good reason to put a cell phone tower there. Those places actually exist.
You know, hanging from the booger nose of Mount Rushmore is not the place I want to put a cell phone tower at.
All I'm saying is this. If you one of those people that want an outdoor adventure in places where there's no service, you should get a damn satellite phone and shut up. Otherwise, I mean, like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Uh,
Oh my God, why didn't AT&T go put a tower here? Why didn't you get a damn satellite phone? You knew there wasn't no satellite there.
because it costs a hell of a lot of money.
Well, it costs money to go risk your damn life in the desert too.
Hey man, it's not just the
What good
desert.
is your financial savings if you dead?
That's true. But
All
hey,
I'm saying.
it's not just in the desert, man. It's hanging off the edge of that iceberg cliff.
My
Camping
point.
in the middle of nowhere woods.
All I'm saying is this: when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Oh
Congratulations, you played yourself.
damn! But you don't see no need for this at all. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying I know. I'm saying I know what I'm saying is I don't think it matters if they build or not because I think even if they didn't do satellite, they're still not going to cover them places. So people saying them having this satellite thing is going to make them not build those places. Those people are delusional because they probably weren't going to build them places to begin with.
Right.
That's my point. They were never going to cover those areas. So it's not like we would cover them, but we got satellite now. We ain't got to cover it. That's not what's happening. They
No,
would
no,
never
no,
intend to
no.
cover them places. They never intended it. That's what I'm saying.
But see, like I like what was it? I was what was it? Carlos. He was showing us while he was driving down some of these the roads, and there's nothing out there. If you look left and right, there's nothing, and the road that you on barely got service. That's how I look at it. Is there's not enough there's not enough customers needing to use service on that road
It's
to
charity.
justify putting,
The
yeah,
tachometer is
justify putting,
charity.
yeah,
It's charity. That's what that is. That's bad business. A CEO has what? He has a responsibility, a legal responsibility to do what's right for his company, including not doing excessive charity just so you can say you got something.
that's true.
It's the way it is, bro. Ain't nothing free.
That is true.
Ain't no free rides. The only ride you're gonna get for free probably in your whole life is the Stairway to Heaven ride.
But then I'm
But
not live.
even
You
the
said
hearse
in my
costs
whole
what it
life.
even the hearse costs.
Oh, dang.
Ain't
You're
no
right,
free
though.
rides. Ain't no free rides. I'm just saying, bro.
I
A
mean,
cell phone tower in a place where 6 people ping it a month is not worth building.
that's true. Now, here's the thing: I mean, with the other new technologies coming out, like I reported on, I found this article where they're doing this in Texas, which Texas is obviously gone but back crazy right now with their infrastructure. But they were talking about cellular and solar. So, like the cell sites are propped up by solar.
And then they're
So
using
now,
point to
so
point.
now you can end up, so now you can end up putting a cell site in weird places, and if you don't, how you can't get power ran to them, bam,
Yeah, but you still got to
cell
do
site.
point to point to get the internet out there.
That's true, but that's way easier than waiting around for somebody to dig the fiber to the site.
Well, obviously. But even then, what is the construction cost?
True.
I'd be willing to bet there are places where if you put a cell tower there, if you were to actually calculate and get and put a value on every phone call made on said tower, you'd probably look at 100 years before that tower is profitable. I'm serious. I'm not even trying to be
Hey,
funny.
hey,
I'm serious.
Mario, we all know that the towers in the city supplement the calls for the towers in the country.
So
I
yeah,
mean, we
but they
know that.
yeah, but do they supplement enough to cover the one that's where there's 6 people a month on it? I'm just saying, bro.
Hey, that's how I've always looked at it. Especially that was one of the reasons why U.S. Sailor died is because their whole footprint was rural. They didn't even try to touch the cities. They never even tried to go in on the cities, but it cost them like $1 million per tower to put up, or something equivalent to. They had to hope they could hold on.
I just know that we still have network problems in the city. So me being concerned about the middle of nowhere, not really concerned.
Oh, we
Like,
got to
cause like
help them
and
people see,
remember there
man.
is levels to middle of nowhere. There's levels to that.
Yeah. Oh, believe me when I tell you. I mean, you got middle of nowhere, and you got bunk fudge Egypt.
When you got there in the boondocks, man,
Oh
the
man,
boonies, man.
you said hillbilly land.
I'm talking about the places that when you drive out there, you at some points you're 50 miles from a gas station.
Ooh,
Who the crap is putting a tower there? No one.
nobody.
I'd be willing to bet there's no human in America that wants to live 50 miles from a gas station. So it ain't like there's some houses there.
Mm.
It's like, well, the old truck's getting low on gas. Let me make an hour drive to get gas. Ain't nobody doing that.
Yeah, look, hey, even farmland is near town, so just
That's
keep
my
that in
point.
mind.
That's my point.
Farmland, look, farms were the economical engine for a long time. That's why towns sprung up around them.
Exactly.
They didn't go build. Like you said, they didn't go. Those turbines. Those what do you call them? The turbines or the field harvesters? They take gas too.
Yep. Need
So
fuel.
until those suckers go solar, they gotta be near. They gotta be near a gas station.
If you want to go out there and risk your life, literally being in the middle of nowhere on a cliff, just spend the money and get a satellite phone.
Oh no.
for emergency. It's what it is.
Yo,
You can
so
think
hey,
about it.
no.
I got so much free time. I want to go risk death.
You know what? I think people are honestly trying to find a challenge, right? Like, the whole living off grid and everything. You could live off grid and be in the middle of the city. I'm sorry. Unplug, look, disconnect yourself from the power grid. Have fun.
What's something? There's
Learn how
varying
to make
degrees to
candles.
off the grid. There's varying degrees to that.
That's true. That is true.
If there were so many people trying to live off grid, them places would have enough people for them to put a cell phone tower out there.
No radio, no radio. Understand. There is a place like that in West Virginia where they those people walk around with their Wi-Fi rocks. Okay, remember
Oh, here we
they were
go.
getting away from the radiation that is cellular and Wi-Fi.
Nah, they got cell towers out there on the side of the mountain. Thank you, Chantel.
Did you think
Chantel covered that stuff up.
you were getting away?
Oh man.
No, hey, I got one more story for you, man. And it so happened I talked to this guy today because he was the I was taking him to the convention center, and this week is what they call quote unquote it's the poo conference. So it's of the digestive digestion. It's basically a conference about digestion, right? And I asked the network the IT guy. I said, so which one is it, man? Mac or PC? And I said, and he gave me his reason, and I hear this reason all the time. And I go and I scratch my head on this no radio, and I don't know why. Everybody assumes that Macs are better in graphic design, but of course PC are better on gaming, right? So so the Mac versus PC war is back on. So apparently a lot of more people have gotten their hands on these new Windows laptops running on ARM, and they're saying that the war is back on, sir. But my question to you is this: is
You want me to say this again, Kia? There is no war.
what do you mean, man? The war is
There's
back
no war. No, no, there's no war. Why do you keep going back to this? Why do
because
you
it's a
fall for
war.
this?
It's a battle, sir. It's
No,
a
sir.
a
It doesn't
battle.
exist. There is nobody pulling their hair out trying to pick a Mac or PC. It doesn't exist. Doesn't exist, sir.
Look, sir, did we not get all those Mac versus PC commercials where
Sir,
it?
sir. That was PC. That was PC losing market share and trying to get some back. That has nothing to do with what I just said. There's no battle. The sides have been chosen already. There's nobody
Uh,
on a Mac right now thinking about ditching it if these ARM chips are good. That's what I'm telling you. They're picking the ecosystem, not the performance.
mm,
That's why I said it's not. There is no war. It doesn't
well,
exist. There's PC lovers who are angry that they don't have some of the features of the Mac, the M chips. They're angry about it, but they're still PC lovers.
that's true.
That's my point.
Man, already you know you gotta take the cues, man. It's about hype. You gotta hype it up.
No, man, I ain't got time for this hype
You went
business.
into you went into full on relax mode.
But we already, bro, we've already got the majority of the iPhone world to agree that they're only there for iMessage and FaceTime.
Oh
Okay,
Lord,
they're not there because the chips are faster. Okay, because the
that's
chips are
true,
faster, and guess what? No one cares. That's my point.
man.
It's the
Look,
ecosystem. It's the apps. So for the Windows side, guess what? If you're a gamer, well, it's pretty much your only option. And what are games? They're apps.
hold on. So EM just messaged and said once iMessage isn't locked to the Apple ecosystem, he's out.
That's my point. People are
But here's
there
the
for
thing: do you think that RCS can migrate people over? Because we know
I
that
don't
Apple's
think
still
it
going to make
matters.
it. They're going
I
to still
don't
make
think
us look like green bubbles.
I don't think it matters. The benefit of RCS, it benefits both user bases. So that means when I send my friend who has if I send up somebody who has a freaking iPhone a picture from an Android, it's not going to be jacked up. That benefits
Right.
both of us. That's not an ecosystem changing feature. It is just a ecosystems play together better feature. That's no different than the damn Tesla chargers now being able to charge a Ford. Ain't nobody gonna pick the Tesla because now the charger works on Fords. They're gonna already have wanted the Ford and used it on the Tesla charger. See my
That's true.
point?
I get that.
So it just makes the phones play better together. It will not. I don't believe it's going to cause some major shift in the ecosystem pick. No, not going to happen. Never was. The one thing it will do though is once again it'll make it less painful to interact with each other. That's about it.
Nah.
I did a
Hey,
video
look,
on this,
man.
by the way. I sent a picture from an iPhone. I sent a picture from an Android to an iPhone, and it was all pixelated to crap in the SMS.
Yeah.
That is the reason people. Oh my God, those Androids have terrible cameras. because of incompatibility. Well, that just goes away. But that doesn't mean that person goes, "Oh, your pictures look good now. I'll switch to Android." Not going to happen, sir. It's not going to happen.
Mm.
A
What's
person
up,
that's dumb
Kay?
enough to believe that the camera's bad on the Android because iMessage is lowering the picture quality isn't smart
But
enough to be having an ecosystem conversation with even themselves.
but that's what I'm saying, man. Hey, look. The perception versus reality has always been that Android was inferior to Apple, right? That was
No, it has
But
not
now,
been. That has not been the perception.
from whenever I talk
The
to
word
people who are
inferior.
iPhone, like live
Well,
in their iPhone universe,
remember,
that's exact.
words
Those are
have
they.
definitions. So what is the definition of inferior?
Lower quality.
I've never heard that.
I have.
Because you talking to crazy people. You know what I've always heard? I've heard it's hard to use, not it's
I've
low
heard that
quality.
too.
That's
But
the
here's
number
the thing.
one. That's the number one. I have all work people go, oh man, look at how Samsung has the fancy screens. And the screens do it better on the Samsung. I've heard that for you. How is that worse quality? It's always been, I don't know how to use it, or it's hard to use. That's
I
not
had
a
one person
quality. That's not
say.
a yeah.
I had one person say, "Well, the photos look better on iOS than it does
And
on
at some points,
Android."
but guess what? There was points in history where that was true. There's
But
been no point in history where the Android photos were always as good or always better. They have
here's the
both
thing:
gone
as
back
much.
and forth on the quality of their photos. iPhones still take better videos. What's your argument for that one?
Hmm,
To a point. So technically, there has still yet to be an Android that has a better photo and video.
that's true.
So my point is, it's that's the stuff that us nerds are talking about. The general public don't care about none of that stuff you talk about, bro. Once
Well,
again, I told you about using nerds talking points to describe the general population because it's not real. That's why there's still people walking around with iPhone 8s right now. They don't care.
oh, there are a
No
lot of
kidding.
people. They're probably rocking the iPhone
They
fives.
don't care nothing about your extra camera and your long zoom. They don't care about none of that crap, bro.
Hey, look. The reason why I'm saying this is because I feel that it's more like I was talking to this one lady before, and I was taking her home, and she was an artist. She was artist, and she went to this art school. But whenever people describe like using a Mac or Apple product, is being pushed by the institution because they want to make it seem prestigious. But for me? It's always been, is it really better, right? And like what EM said, if iMessage ever got decoupled, he's leaving.
But EM is not the general population.
I understand
That's
that, but
my
I'm just
point. So
saying,
it's irrelevant. No
But what
one's
I'm saying is,
opinions in this community will be taken as samples of the world. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. If you're in this community, you don't count as a vote on what people really want out there because you are nerds. You know more than the general public. That's like if me and you was talking about airplanes and there was two pilots in the room
uh,
and we'd be like, man, them seats of them planes real uncomfortable. The pilot sit up in the front of the plane. He ain't even sitting in that seat to see how bad it feels. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
I don't care about a pilot's opinion on seat comfort on a plane. He ain't sitting
I
in the
mean,
seat. I
he's not sitting in the same seat I'm sitting
My
in.
point exactly. Us nerds,
But
we don't sit in the same seats as the general public.
but here's the thing, though, radio. The comparisons are there regardless if we like it or not.
Yeah,
My
that's
take is this.
cool, but they
My
don't
take
shift
is
the market.
always
Keon, MacBook sales were already great before the M chip. They didn't just become great because of the M chip.
true.
So that right there kills the whole argument.
Man, look. The one thing that this IT guy did say was because you can't do dual boot on it, it's actually a deal breaker for him.
On
So
the
the thing
MacBook.
is yeah. So the thing
Yeah, but guess
is
what? He's a nerd.
that's true.
He's the IT guy. Guess what? Sarah, who is getting her accountant's degree and she's attending East Carolina University, she's not dual booting a daggum thing, sir. Okay.
Oh
In fact, her iPhone screen been cracked for 2 years. And she's still walking around with an iPhone 10.
wow, no radio. Not the iPhone 10. You
I'm
don't give
telling
her
you,
the
she
11.
is. She is,
You're not
bro.
gonna give her. You're not gonna at least give her
I'm
the
just
11.
telling you. I be seeing these people in real life, bro. And I be like, damn, that phone old as shit. Man, this lady got and it's cracked. You know how we are. We phone people. We trying to get the new phone all the time.
Yeah.
Man, these people, they get their little iPhone 12 and they will ride that iPhone 12 for 7 years. They don't care. They're not just jumping because little ecosystem changed. They're not running to the store because the ecosystem changed.
So here's my question to you then, the radio. So you're saying that we're just stuck in this paradigm?
No,
This is
no,
the
it's not about
paradigm that we're
stuff.
stuck in.
You're trying to create some war that's not happening.
Well, I need the war. I need the
Ferrari
war to
doesn't give
happen.
a damn what Ford is doing.
I need the war to happen because there's no casualties.
The guy who's looking at the Mustang ain't even considering a Ferrari. Is
That's
my
true.
point. So even when the Ferrari price were to come down, guess what? The guy don't even know it came down because he wasn't looking in the first place. There's
Mm.
all I'm telling you is this: there is not a bunch of there's not a large like a group of Mac users that are just waiting for the ARM chip to drop on Windows. They don't exist. But guess what?
But
I would
then,
be
how
willing to
about
bet
this?
you this: the majority of people who will be buying the ARM machines will have both products because they're nerds.
Mm.
I'm just telling you, bro.
No. I hear you.
Think about it like
I'm
this,
just
Keon.
saying
There's a
that.
dude right now that he's been saving his money, right? We're gonna say his name
Right.
is Josh, and Josh is 41 years old, and his old laptop screen is cracked. Okay, and
Right.
Josh is a Windows guy. He's been saving his money, and he's like, I'm gonna save about 1,500. I'm gonna get me a new laptop next month. Josh stumbles into Best Buy next month. They
Uh-huh.
have a whole section of the Qualcomm ARM laptops over there. And then they also have the Intel and the AMD ones. Josh is going to go in there, and because Josh isn't on the internet listening to people like us and looking at and knowing all about the Qualcomm updates, when he goes to Best Buy, he's going to see the brands he knows and goes, "That's Intel, that's AMD." Guess what? Josh is more likely to still buy an Intel machine than the ARM one, even when it's better.
Mm.
That is the point I'm trying to make to you. There are consumers that are going to completely reject these things just because they're not tech people and they don't like new stuff.
Oh gosh.
They're going to pick Intel because they know it. And they're going to look at the sales reps like they're crazy if they're pushing it on them. Then I'm telling you, bro. I'm
Mm.
telling you. It's going to, even this, for us nerd community, these are going to take off for
Yeah.
us. But the rest of the world, they're going to be tiptoeing towards this ARM stuff for like the first year and a half to 2 years. Telling
I
you.
I believe it's going to be like a 2 year lag,
Yeah, there's going to be a
but the
lag
pro-
before people even trust these products.
but I do believe that a lot of the word of mouth and
Yeah.
reviews are going to sway a lot of people. I
But
mean,
guess what
like understand that
is right?
like
The
they
Mac.
don't do
Get,
reviews for fun.
but let me finish it. The Mac user, he don't have an option of if it's Intel, AMD, or ARM. He just get Mac,
True.
and therein lies the difference in the buyer. They knew they wanted a MacBook. Most people buying a MacBook don't even have a clue about what a processor even is. They just
Man,
know
already
that
you give
new.
them no credit.
No, I talk to these people, bro. I talk to these people, man. And bro, my brain cells be burning talking to these people. But I'm telling you,
Hey,
that's the
Lola,
benefit of Apple. Apple has become their own brand so much that even when people were buying Apple laptops, they didn't even know they were getting an Intel CPU, even before the
that's true.
ARM chips ever came out. These same people
Because
believe
Apple
Dell's got better
Apple doesn't.
processors. I've heard
Yeah,
somebody
because
tell me that a Lenovo or a Dell got different quality processors, as if they're the ones making the chip.
wow,
That's
you
my
heard somebody
point.
say that.
Exactly.
Dang.
EM, if you in the comments, tell me I'm wrong. I've heard people go, Toshiba makes better laptops. They have better processors in their labs. I've heard it 100 times. And like, you
Mm-mm.
do know that like the same 5 people make all the damn parts and all the laptops, right?
Right.
They don't. That's the point. That's why they still couldn't believe. People still can't believe that Samsung makes the screens for the iPhones, sir.
Hey, Lola, he says he says he 100% correct.
I'm telling you, bro. People been thinking Apple been making them whole phones forever. Yeah, Apple got better screens. That's a Samsung screen.
Am,
And
am, am,
it's the truth, bro.
The
Telling you.
iPhone screen is a Samsung screen,
No, it's
and
not.
nobody knows it.
But that's my point. It's the same for people. What up, Brandon?
What up? Oh, I got some news for y'all.
Uh
What's up?
Speaking of the rotten apple, I went to go
oh.
and look at the iPad on Wednesday.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Already, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the Pro version better.
What didn't buy it?
Because it's
Buy
bigger.
it.
It's
No, no,
13
no,
Put
no.
your
Hold on,
money
inches.
hold on,
where
hold
your
on.
mouth is. Put your
No,
money.
but no, but hold on. Hear
Uh.
me out. Hear me out.
I only hear dollars. Only dollars make sense to me, sir.
No, I know.
All I hear is
If
dollar
you really like
signs.
it that much, you'll
Throw
buy
it
it.
up.
No, but I like it, but I'd rather have a MacBook.
Oh, then, sir, what was the point of? Then you just proved the whole point of what me and Keon were talking about last week,
No,
sir.
no, no,
Prove the point.
That's what we were saying. That's what we were saying the whole time.
but hear me out. I like it. But I don't like again. I don't like the keyboard and all that. But my hands get so tired when holding onto it.
Bruh, I'm telling you, man, if I hand you a yoga convertible with Mac OS running on it, you will be in heaven.
Exactly, and that's true. You
No,
would.
You would
If
be in heaven.
if there was a MacBook out next year that was convertible, you go tell me that they wouldn't sell.
Hell, no radio. They
they
wouldn't be able to keep
wouldn't.
They
up with
would fly off
they
the shelf so
no
damn
radio. They
fast.
would not be able to produce enough of them.
There would be
Okay.
an earthquake at the Apple store. Okay,
But no radio. I think them days are over.
what earthquakes at Apple stores?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
You,
iPads.
no, but like in general with all the above, because people don't get excited for tech anymore.
no, they don't. I've been telling Keon
Yeah,
that for like the last
and
year.
I blame Apple people for that because
I mean,
all y'all
Samsung
guys have
people
ruined
don't
it.
be
The
excited
truth,
either,
Keon,
sir.
is that there's barely any innovation going on. That's why
That's
no one's
true.
excited.
But here's the thing: the reason why there's no innovation going on is because Apple don't innovate.
No, no,
They don't. They're not
wrong.
doing
Xbox don't innovate
innovation.
either, sir.
Keon, you picked up a special crack pipe this morning for that comment.
Oh, hey! I'm smoking on it too. Smoking on it.
Hey man, be honest with us, sir. When's the last time you were excited for something besides the Nvidia
He gets excited
launch?
about everything. He's the quick popper.
Hey, look. I'm always speculating on stuff. I want to know what's coming down the pipeline. That's how I've always been, man. I tell people even when I talk to them in my car, I'm a futurist. I'm always looking towards the future, always.
No, but
Like
Evan, the
like
thing
Nunu
is
told
that
Teddy on ATL, you a quick popper. Exactly.
no, but
But
Evan, like the tech, like there's no innovation anymore. It's the specs are new, but the experience is the same. It's like knocking down a house and remaking it again with with higher quality wood, and nobody notices a
Yeah,
difference.
I
well,
blame YouTubers like you, Keon, for creating
oh,
false excitement for why there's no excitement. It's
oh,
because
what?
you keep making it sound like you try to keep making it sound like everything's so innovative and so futuristic and moving so fast
No,
that the industry goes, well, shoot, they believe it's moving fast and we ain't got to do nothing.
no. I think the industry is moving slow. I look. I just say they moving
Well,
too
then
slow.
stop sounding
Which,
excited and maybe we'll get
which,
something.
which brings me to this. I saw this video today where this
Oh,
guy was breaking down like the M1 chip, right?
oh,
So
here
he
we
was
go.
breaking it down, and he was talking about how like now that we're moved on to the M4, they noticed that there wasn't big differences in the M from the M1 to the M even the M3.
Well, done.
So the thing is going lower on the nanometers means nothing no more. They use it like, oh, we're doing our new
Keon,
three nanometer
wait,
three
Keon,
nanometer
see, Keon,
process.
Keon, see, you're overgeneralizing, sir. You're
Okay,
assuming that they actually meant to make it perform better with the lower nanometer. You can't just say nanometers don't help just because of what products are being given to you. Unless you're in the lab during the test, you don't know what nanometers do.
I
You just know that
that's
they use
very
this
true.
marketing jargon, i.e., say the nanometer thing change, right? Actually does improve performance by 20%. But the company goes, hey, we got to save some room for the next line. So let's only let this one go up 10%. You see my point I'm
Mhm.
trying to make?
I see what you're saying.
Nanometers could be
But
causing
then,
this,
but then, but,
but
then, but you know what?
they end up getting the problem. You don't see nothing. You know what they my point.
You're breaking up. Say it again.
You only know what they release to you, not what the scientific results of the change is my point.
That's true.
So stop assuming the products you're given is the results of the improvement.
But here's the
Sometimes
thing.
compromise the
But
version
holding
so you can have another line for the next chip.
but holding back on technologies is the reason why we get these monetary small changes.
Well, that's my point. That's my point. You just said the same thing I said, sir.
Yeah. No. But that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, look, I might seem over. I might seem overhyped, but I like to. I speculate a lot. I
You just
speculate a lot.
well, people who speculate make the market seem like there's more happening than actually is what I'm saying.
No. I'm very disappointed in the market more than anything. I mean,
And man, we all are. We
We all
all
are,
are.
sir.
We
We
all
all
are.
are, sir.
hey, look. I point my blame directly at Apple.
No, but okay, but give me your
No.
scientific reason, not how you feel, sir.
Okay, my scientific reason because Apple do these small little changes, so it ripples through the rest of the industry with these
Okay,
small little
okay, let's
changes
play the
for
game
everybody
then.
else.
Let's play your game. When Apple dropped their M1 chip, was that a
There was
small little change?
no, that was a big
I'll
change.
rest my case. Next. And I don't even like
Um,
Apple as a company. And even I have to daggone say that you tripping. They made more innovation than both Intel and AMD have in the
but
last 10 years with one chip release. So to say
here's the
they ain't
thing, but when
innovating
you
is a joke. How about everybody else ain't innovating? What about
uh
them? You act like Intel doing something special. What they doing over there? Nothing. They keep giving you, they gave us basically the same freaking chip for like 5, 6 years with minor changes. And you blame Apple for shit not being innovative? Come on, bro.
here's the thing. When you stay on this path as long as they have, so what ends up happening is Qualcomm signs and like I said, I discovered to find out that Qualcomm signed a deal where they limited ARM chips on Windows because of their deal with ARM.
So
That's stifling innovation. So so instead of having that war way sooner, we had to wait 4 years for a contract to run out, all because Qualcomm was afraid that somebody was going to outdo them. Instead of them being in the lab and cooking this up now, why we got to wait 4 years for you to finally
I
start cooking?
believe they all been in the lab and been had it, but they all have to push for survival. So they do tactics like that. And you look at it as Apple trying to victimize the market when the truth is all the vendors are participating in the stagnation.
Uh,
That's what I'm saying.
Look,
Think about it. Intel, all them freaking years was sitting on their hands just because they was ahead.
yeah.
They didn't pay AMD to not do better. But as soon as AMD did better, all of a sudden Intel's doing better. They
Yeah.
all participate in stagnation of the market. That's what I'm saying. They all participate. There isn't like one evil company making everybody hold back. No, everybody's intentionally holding back to elongate
Well,
their survivability in the game.
I understand that. I look at
They're all
the
guilty.
Giants, the ones that the Giants are in the game. Like Brandon just proved my point from last week. He even looks at the iPad and go, "Nah, put that touch screen on that laptop, and we got a deal."
No, but I don't care for touchscreen, sir.
You say that
But
until
yeah,
the
but you
product
touch
drops.
your phone.
You
But
touch your
no, right,
phone though.
Go back to BlackBerry. Go back to BlackBerry with a keyboard,
no,
and
but
then you
no,
tell me
but
how you
Edmund,
feel.
no, but Edmund, I don't even touch my laptop.
Yeah, because you do you even have a touchscreen on your laptop?
Yes.
Yes, I don't use it.
But let me ask you this question. Let me
I
restate this
use
again.
mine to
Is
scroll. I
your
do for scrolling. I do.
is your laptop within 2 feet of you?
Yes,
It is all the time.
yes, all the time.
Uh-huh.
The
I
only
feel like your
time,
laptop is plugged into your television is across the room. Then when it's like that, you're not touching the screen.
no, but Edmund, I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I don't touch is because I always use a physical mouse.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
use
one
a
of them.
mouse.
He old school.
Yeah,
He old school. He don't like mouse pads either. Yeah, he's like my mama. Everybody know who old can't stand a mouse pad, and I can use a mouse pad like a ninja.
I hate a mouse
My
pad or
wife,
whatever.
my
I
wife
was
sucks on a mouse pad too.
I'm in between. I've learned how to do both.
I'm a mouse pad ninja.
I'm close to my laptop and it's open, then I'm going to use the mouse pad. But if I do have a wireless mouse, Bluetooth mouse though.
You know the only
So
type of mouse I like. Like I don't even use one now, but my preferred type of mouse is the trackball.
oh God, I hate those.
They were great for music production though.
Oh Lord, I hate those.
They gave you so much better feel for making small adjustments inside of
I
software, like little
tried to
knobs and
do
stuff.
it.
Yeah, but we had a huge one.
I
We
tried.
had a huge trackball though. I mean, I'm talking about a big old trackball. That thing you
Yeah, I
should have
try
caused
to
them to
use
kill
it.
somebody.
Basically your hand is sitting there still and you're
Yes,
rotating it with between your thumb and your
yep.
forefinger.
Well, no, I use all my fingers on the trackball. I use
Oh
everything.
wow.
No, I don't. You talking about a little trackball. I'm talking about a big red trackball, about the size of a damn tennis ball. Big
Yes.
trackball.
Oh well, not that big. I
Yeah,
think I
yeah,
had
big
one that
boy.
was probably the size
That's
of
what we
like
use in the studio. In the studio, I
what was
used
it
to
like
work it all the time.
what was it? The one I had before was just big enough to be kind of like a little bit bigger than a golf ball.
Yeah, you just don't get the precision with like a laser mouse that you do with a trackball for like making little bitty adjustments. If I'm trying to turn a knob like a knob in a software, like I'm
Yeah.
editing in a music software, I can move that with that trackball. I can literally move like a tenth of a decimal at a time. You do it with a mouse, you move the mouse a hair, and you done jump 3 dB. I'm trying to move a tenth of a decimal, like little like that. You learn to appreciate a trackball for certain those scenarios. But hell, I don't even game with a mouse. I have a gaming PC, and I still game with a damn controller.
I do the same thing.
So I'm not a
Yeah,
big fan of
you know what's
mouse.
so funny? You know what's funny? I'm a controller. My wife uses a controller,
Yep.
but all these games are like, oh yeah, we need you to use keyboard and mouse. And I'm like, well, that's stupid.
What game?
Look, if you get to the place where you use a controller with a mouse, but
Yeah, do that too.
you will not touch that keyboard.
No, I don't game with no keyboard. I can't do it. I know some people would love it. That's your thing. I come from the video game days where everything was a game controller. That's just
Yes,
where I learned
everything.
all my push-ups, my figurative video gaming push-ups were done on a controller. I ain't done no reps on with the ASW key.
No, but Evan, I hate the mouse thing. I hate it.
Hey, look, my take was always like this. Like, my laptop is plugged into my television, and my TV sitting on the thing. If I'm close enough to it, then I'll use the mouse pad. But if I'm not, I'm using a track what's the name mouse, a Bluetooth mouse. So
Yeah, that's the only
that's the
thing
two
I'll
worlds.
use. That's the only
That's the
thing
two
I'll use.
worlds that's the two worlds I live in between. But but here's the thing: if I'm close to my laptop, I'll reach out to my laptop and touch the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that. And I've seen people do that. Like, I've literally watched people, like, they're saying you go into the internet cafe, they'll reach up and touch your screen.
And here's the one thing I will say this. I do believe that more people today actually use their laptops as desktops
Yes,
than they
A
do as
laptops
lot,
are
actual
a
desktops.
lot,
laptops,
a lot.
including me.
Laptops are desktops.
No
My
radio,
laptop
even
is my desktop
businesses.
now. I
No,
don't.
radio, your laptop is a gaming rig, dog. It's just
It
it
is.
just closes.
Yeah, it literally that one literally never leaves the desk. It stays
Yeah.
plugged to the 32-inch monitor at all times. Never leaves the freaking desk.
See?
I don't walk around with it. I have my yoga, but my yoga, like I said, that's for if I just have like some emergency business to handle real quick or something. Or like today, on my lunch break today, I was actually editing a song and doing some mixing, headphone
Right.
mixing in my free time. I Google Drive myself the session and I sat there in my lunch and just did a little tweaking using the headphones. And
Mm-hmm.
I actually used my yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, other than that, my yoga basically just relaxes all the time. It just stays in my book bag, bro. It doesn't leave it.
Hey, look, now the new arm chip, you'll be in your book bag as long as you like, and it'll still be ready to go.
Yeah, I got it. Well, see, so just here, so there goes that gray area again, right?
Uh-huh.
The number one thing they go have to do, they got to put a crap ton of USB ports on these things.
What?
Yeah, man. Because here's the deal. If these things perform as well as they say they do, it will be replacing my gaming laptop, and my gaming laptop will only be dedicated to gaming. It will be moved. It will be moved to the big 4K TV and only used for gaming. And I will use
But you
the
know
new
what?
ARM one as for all my music stuff. So
But no, radio. Here's the thing: the do you really? I don't think you really need that many USB ports. You just need to plug into a
sir,
hub.
you don't know what I'm plugging up.
I mean, a lot of people still use USB ports.
Edmund, my audio
Oh,
interface has to have a USB port. My mouse has to have a USB port. My external keyboard has to have a USB port. My additional hard drives that are out external have to have a USB port. My MIDI controller has to have a USB port. My, just telling you, I have
bro,
to have
you
all
need
these
a
USB.
hub. Or you gonna be living the dongle life.
Well, my current laptop has all the ports I need.
True, but
I have one, two, three, four, five, six. I have six USB ports on that laptop.
oh, Max Tech Studios come in and with like a wrecking ball. He's like, Apple for life, son. Apple
Hey, and see
for
my
life.
point? See, he just proved my point yet again. Ain't nobody switch ecosystems over no damn chip, bro.
Mm.
That's just the truth. It ain't gonna happen. But yeah, I need like six USB ports. I do. I need two A's. No, I need three A's and I need about 4 or 5 C's.
No radio. I suggest, look, especially with these thin form factors. They're not doing that. Even Apple has dropped
Ah,
the
I,
number of IOs on
and have I
theirs.
bought an Apple laptop yet? I have not.
Hey, look hey man, look at your yoga.
Oh,
And
and
your
I want
yoga
you
is like my yoga.
and what do I do with my yoga? It travels only, sir. I'm talking about my desktop replacement situation.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Oh,
need it to be thin and light, Keon. That's the point I'm trying to make.
then
I
if you're not planning on being portable, then yeah, I can see it having multiple IOs.
I need it to be the only time that thing needs to be portable is if I have to go somewhere else and like track a session. So say I were to book a studio because I'm getting back heavy into the music stuff. If I were to book a studio, I could still use my laptop. I just use their gear. That's the only time I need to really be, form factor, throw it in the bag and take off with it. And even then, when I get there, I'm probably plugging it in. But if the thing got 29 hours of battery life, I may not even have to plug it in.
That is true.
That's
That
my
much
point.
is true.
And I have
Look,
done
man,
it
no,
before.
my last part of this speculation. So with Max Tech Studios coming in, what do you think? Besides, if there was an ecosystem play for Qualcomm to finally start linking their stuff together with their phones and
Not happening.
that from
Not going to happen.
you don't think that there's
Nope.
no chance of
Nope.
pulling
Not happening.
somebody like him or Brandon over?
No. What ecosystem, sir? Ecosystem implies that everything works on everything.
That's what they're trying to move to.
Windows Phone is dead, sir. So what they gonna do?
Gene, what's going on? He comes in and says, Intel for life, currently running.
See, look, even Gene don't even want to try ARM. He's like, Intel for life.
Computer that runs my web browsers. Look at that.
And he is correct. He is absolutely correct about that.
Man.
And already, I mean, Edmund,
saying,
some of the weirdest people you'll ever meet is somebody that owns a MacBook and an Android.
No.
Okay. So a place where you see that. Years ago, that was very common. Actually, it's not anymore.
Yeah, not now because Apple has already succeeded to gather, especially in America, at least over 50% market share.
I'll tell you something funny, man. The guy that I did this last session with, right? Me and him were both Team Android, right? He sent me his number on Facebook for his new number or whatever. And my default action was to hit FaceTime when I called. Now, mind you, me and this man been knowing each other, like 15 years, and we were both Team Android. I automatically assumed he had an iPhone, and I was right.
Oh, dang.
That moment when you see the FaceTime logo or it being blue.
Exactly. I was like, well, we both on Apple now. And look, we didn't even have a conversation about it. We both techies and we didn't even talk about it. I just acknowledged that we were both on iPhones right now.
I still don't understand. And people in the comments can roast me. I don't care. How in the world is FaceTime this go-to thing?
It's not as great as they make it
most
seem.
Inferior product I've ever seen in my whole freaking life.
Okay, I would have agreed with you, except for the fact that Meat has gone downhill. Meat got worse. Duo was better than Meat.
But that's because they've been doing that weird integration, trying to combine the two.
They lowered the quality too. Or let me take that back. At least on the iPhone, using Meat is very low quality.
It really is.
I feel like it was better on Android. It's almost like they don't work fully on iPhone. Like the quality, the 1080p don't really work anymore in the Meat on my iPhone anyway.
See.
It used to be 1080p every time I called my wife. When I had my Samsung and I would use Duo or Meet to call my wife, it was 1080p clear call. When only person I talk to Meet now is you, Keon, and the quality is always bad. It's almost like the iPhone version is limited, so I guess only way I can test that is by using my Android, which I still have my Pixel 7 Pro. We may have to do a test call later to see if the quality is any better, but for some reason, the quality looks like crap lately on Meet.
I mean, like the times I've seen you, riding your bike, man, it does look a little weird. It looked like it should be a lot clearer, but it's not.
No, but you're referring to like when the camera's forward. I'm talking about sitting still in the house. The quality has gone downhill. It's like it doesn't do 1080 phone calls anymore.
No, Brady, what about Messenger and all of them?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like Facebook. Facebook Messenger
always been trash. It's never gonna be. That's just always been trash. Meat went downhill. Meat went downhill. Facebook never got out the car to start hiking to go up it.
Wow. You know what, Dario? But we did start seeing that degrading um mantra roughly about the time when they started trying to integrate Duo and Meet together.
That's my point. They
So
screwed it up. They screwed it up, bro, and they ain't
I
fixed it.
don't know, man.
They haven't fixed it. The quality is terrible.
I just I'm trying to figure out like what it would it take to start grabbing more people
Doesn't
back.
keep
But it's
telling
the
it don't
ecosystem.
matter, bro. That doesn't
But
that there's
I know
no
it's the
war.
ecosystem.
You keep fighting a war that don't exist.
No, but I mean,
But
one of the things that
Only
I'll
on an
say,
iPhone because I got bored with the phones being offered from Samsung, Google, and everybody else. Not because I thought it was better. It was out
yo,
of pure boredom, dude. Just
look,
boredom.
man. I just every time I have to use my iPhone, I'm bored with it.
Yeah, but I'm saying it. But I got bored using my Android. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's true. I
But
understand.
but
no,
but
but no,
of
but
the
that's the same thing
ecosystem.
I've been saying too.
What's that, Brandon?
That I'm literally bored of the iOS. Like
Exactly.
every September we get few little features, but at the end of the day, people don't know how to get those features, or they get bored of it right away.
Yep. What I'm saying it's getting boring to the point where people just jumping around now for the heck of it.
But the thing is
Well,
there's
even
no
then,
more
that's like
innovation in the
people.
space.
Even then, like no radio, these chips are getting so faster to a point where people update their phone every September on the operating system, and they see no difference. The
Exactly.
only people that are upgrading their phones are the ones that literally don't know how to charge it, or the ones that break it, or just to
Look,
say I have a new
I say
phone.
this much. I say this
Uh,
much on the Android side, we have seen wallpaper design changes. We have seen UI design changes, everything. But iOS is still that same grid of icons from the day it came into to being to now. And it managed with it being boring, it managed to grab 50% of market. That as much as I don't want, as much as I don't want to come out and say, "Hey, look, you know what? Android is better." It's just like the more boring it is, the more it gain market share. So it doesn't incentivize Apple to do anything different when you're gaining market share.
Well, here's another thing too. I think contributes to it. The like we would all agree the majority of people get their phone through carriers.
That's
There
true.
seems to be better iPhone deals
That too.
from what I've observed. There's better deals. So when you walk in a carrier, you're more likely to get the iPhone, especially if the deal's better. Not to mention the trade-ins are better. Some of that
Right.
sways people too. I'm not saying they're swaying to leave Android to go, but people already there are more likely to stay even because of that. You go in there and they're like, "Yo, you got a broken iPhone 12. Here's $400 credit for it. Go in there with a broken freaking S21."
Oh no.
They be like, "We give you $80." That's all I'm saying, bro. Like just little stuff like that, bro, helps the ecosystem. The
Man,
deals matter.
deals do matter. I just feel
Well,
that it doesn't incentivize a company as big as Apple to change their mantra or change the direction they're going into when you're gaining market share by doing the same old thing. Like, every year you come out with roughly the same exact phone, you just rounded the edges or you turn them square.
yeah.
but that's every company, Edmund.
Yep.
But
That's
here's the
every
thing,
company, Samsung included.
if you look at Samsung is losing market share in comparison. They're trying to copy what Apple's doing and losing.
They're losing market share because they haven't changed their phone in freaking 5, 6, 7, 8 years, dog. Let's just be real.
That's true. That's true.
And
No,
you
but
and you
Edmund,
can't.
like, oh, sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead, bro.
No, like the thing is, Edmund, one of the things that makes the iPhone more popular is a lot of people, I mean, during the pandemic became very antisocial, and a lot of them just love texting or FaceTiming and have become somewhat a little lazier. And they like that FaceTime. They like that they just say, "Hey Siri, call Natalie or Jenny," or some bullshit name.
Yeah, that's if it that if that feature would work. That
It
feature still don't work in
works.
certain. No, it barely works sometimes, man.
Well, I mean, if you want to use like Zoom or whatever, then yeah, it's probably not going to be a smooth feature. But
No, no. I look. I'm just of the notion. I'm just of the notion. Like, uh, I'm excited to see articles like this where they talk about the PC is the PC war, PC versus Mac war back on. But the thing is when I talk to y'all guys, there's nothing that the PC gods can do to pull Apple people from the brink. I mean, hey, granted, we're about to get our own ARM chip on Windows, which is a very big deal because Windows is finally recognizing they need to change with the times. But the problem is, it's still media. If the world still embraces mediocre, then companies are giving people mediocre. No matter how much I want things to be like better, faster, and cooler.
no, I get where you're coming from. But the problem is that a lot of people, I guess, like these companies have so much data in front of them that they've become lazier and lazier to innovate because they know people don't really care. And it's like the same people that have all these perks on Verizon and AT&T. They don't know how to activate the feature, and it's the same ones that don't know how to mess with the features on the phone, but yet they like the Apple and back of the damn phone.
That's true. But like, look, if I showed you the history of what Qualcomm has done, right, and like, I'm gonna be a lot more nerdier about this than other people are going to be. So Qualcomm sees what Apple does, and they just make their chips like 20% less effective than Apple, but they always do. It's always within that 20 to 30% range. Always. It's like how do you like Brandon? How do you always the same footstep behind someone unless you purposely design it that way? Like you have the potential to be able to outshine them, but you choose not to because guess what? You're always trying to make sure that you have enough left in the tank to impress people, hopefully down the line. Which is why the stagnation bothers me beyond all belief. And like I said, I point my finger directly at Apple for because of the stagnation. Because if my thing is if Apple, if you got the power, blow everybody away. Don't pull punches. Like go ahead and put them in the ground. And M1 was them putting everybody in the ground. But now it's just little moments in time. Basically, it's just little things. They came out, they switched arm, bam, they punched everybody in the face. Everybody goes, "Oh no, I can't believe this happened." But the reason why there was no reaction is because, Qualcomm feared that people would move to other chips and not theirs. So they had a contract already in place to keep PCs off of ARM until now. This is what I mean. This is what I was talking on the radio about is we are held back because of secret contracts, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, we don't want to move too quickly."
Um,
That's just me. I get frustrated. I might sound like I might sound excited, but I'm more frustrated than I'm excited. I'm way more frustrated than
no,
I am
but I mean
excited.
the thing is that most people are not tech savvy people, and that's
A
like
lot of
people.
people aren't, but I can tell you this much: a lot of people feel like certain things should be a certain way too. They don't have to be tech savvy. They look at it and they look at their phones and they go, but I should be able to do more with my phone. You see what I'm saying? You're basically in certain instances buying a laptop and put it in your pocket, but you can't plug like you can't use your phone like a laptop if you wanted to dock it. Where's the iPhone docking station that turns your TV into your personal laptop or personal desktop?
Yeah.
The processor in the phone can do it. The processor in the phone is strong enough to be able to become a laptop or strong enough to become a desktop on your television or some portable screen. But people don't do it because guess what? There's nothing that really points them to that direction saying, hey, we can be more than just answering phone calls or doing FaceTime or doing iMessage. It's the same thing you're doing on stronger and stronger processors, but you're not accessing none of the stronger features of said processor. That's what I'm saying. Like people know they want more, but they don't know how to articulate it. But that's why I say to you, it's the second that Apple comes out with a laptop with a touchscreen, you wouldn't be able to they wouldn't be able to make enough of them. It's the same exact way when Apple went from 3.5-inch screens to a 5-inch screen. They flew off the shelf. They just flew off the shelf. They couldn't make enough of them. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Mm.
You're holding us back for monetary reasons, and I despise it, but that's a capitalistic world we live in. That's my rant for this evening. How do you feel about it, Brandon?
It is what it is.
No, man, it can't just be what it is, man. It can't be. I don't like is what it is. I need innovation. That's what I need. Hey, look, on the last note, here, let me pull this up. The website formerly known as Twitter is gone.
Hey, Edmund, I'll be back on in a little bit, or I'll probably be back on next week.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. I'll talk to you later.
But all right.
All right, I'm done. I'm almost done. So this is my last story for this evening. Twitter has officially moved to X.com. So uh Twitter is no more. They've moved all their assets over. So this is just the last death nail that Elon has done to I think Twitter was finally finding itself and finally moving. So he comes in and changes it, and now it is X.com. So all core systems are now on X. Well, the website formerly known as Twitter is no more. I don't know. I don't think that people are going to get used to calling it X. I think that people still on websites still call it Twitter, but they do a hyphenated version of it saying X. So leave in the comments below what you might think about this. I mean, I still use the artist formerly known as Twitter on a regular basis. I mean, I still read what people might, say about certain subjects and whatnot. But how you might feel about it, I'm curious. Uh, Thank y'all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel, what articles that were talked about today, how you might feel about it from AI to cellular, all the way down to X.com. How you might think, what's your take on it, what you believe? Yes, I sound like an angry computer person, but I just feel like technology can be moving along a whole lot faster. That's just me. Thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a good one.